Welcome to the LongBox Paradox. This is the weekend edition. We're going to be going over the new releases coming out for the first week of August. And going to start out right away with Image Comics. Got Birthright number 38 coming out by Josh Williamson. One of my favorite writers. If you've been watching before, you kind of know that. It's an interesting book, a lot of fantasy elements. I feel like it's starting to come to an end game in it. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's ending sometime in the next 20 issues. It hasn't really hit that point yet, but it kind of feels like it's getting there. We have a new comic coming out called Coffin Bound by Dan Waters, and the cover artist name is Danny, D-A-N-I. Dan Waters is the Sandman universe, Lucifer, and the artist is from 2000 AD, Girl with No Name. It looks somewhat like a horror book a little bit. Kind of hard to tell. The solicitation doesn't give you the most information. I thought I did see that there was a B variant by Tula Lotay. It's not on the Diamond list, but I think I saw her text it, or not text it, tweet it. So I love Tula Lotay's art, so I'm down to pick that up either way. The cover on this seems a little bit interesting. The character's got a little bit of a Cassie Hack vibe. I'm going to definitely check it out. And we also have, which I'm over the moon about, Die number 6, the cover A by Stephanie Hans, and the B cover, which I think is going to be the one I pick up, weirdly. It's by Peach Momoko. A little bit of a manga anime vibe to Angela, the Neo. Again, the storyline arc is called Split the Party Part 1. If you read the trade or the issues, you know why it's called Split the Party. And I'm excited to read this on Wednesday. It will be at the top of my list. And have another new issue of Kick-Ass coming out. This Kick-Ass run hasn't been too bad. The C cover is probably the one, if I pick it up, I'll be getting. It's by Bengal. We have Outcast by Kirkman and Azeketa, number 42. Another book I feel is starting to ramp up to the end. Postal Deliverance number 2 by Matt Hawkins and Brian Edward Hill. Issue 1 was kind of surprising. Been away from the world of Postal, felt like about a year and a half, 2 years, and jumping back in, and Mark has a baby now, and he's the mayor now, and his baby mama is now the sheriff. Real interesting to jump back into that world again of Eden. Sea of Stars number 2 comes out. I can honestly say I wasn't really feeling issue 1 that much. I'll probably pick up issue 2 just to kind of see if maybe my feelings changed it and reread issue 1 and 2 just in a row. Space Bandits number 2 comes out. My last video I did, not this last video, but when I did the review of the issue 1, I commented I was a little disappointed. I was expecting a little bit more. I'm gonna pick this up because there's 2 covers that I really like, and one of them is the cover D, Scotty Young cover, and cover C is by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, which if you read Wonder Woman back in the day, you'll understand why he's a big thing. Thumbs number 3 comes out. I'm going to still pick it up. I sadly have not caught up on it. It's still in my read pile and I haven't gotten to it, but everybody has talked great about the book, so I will continue to pick up, and hopefully sometime this week I'll catch up with my read pile. I finally got down to the S's. I had 93 comics I was behind when I started, so I've made pretty good headway into this. Witchblade number 15 comes out. I've been enjoying this Witchblade relaunch. It's been interesting. Caitlin Kittredge has done a great job on it. If you haven't read Coffin Hill, with Halloween coming up, that's probably going to be one of my Halloween recommendations for the 31 days of Halloween that I will be doing, which most of the horror community does this. Very big undertaking, but I'm going to be incorporating comics with the movies. So look for that. Dark Horse, No One Left to Fight, number 2 of 5 comes out. Number 1 was great. If you've watched or read Dragon Ball Z, you will instantly fall into this book and how it's written and sort of relate to these characters. I really, really enjoyed issue 1. More than I thought I would, but definitely check it out. If you could pick up the reprint of issue 1, which comes out this week as well with number 2, go ahead and pick it up. IDW, not a whole lot going on. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 95, second printing. That really is about it, unless you're a Transformers reader. I don't read Transformers. I love Transformers, the cartoon, and I used to collect the toys, but the comic, not so much. Then we get down to DC Comics. So Batman number 76 comes out, and it is a cardstock variant, Year of the Villain, and it's a Delato cover, a variant on the thick cardstock cover, and it's pretty awesome. I am going to buy this book because of the Delato cover, and since I'm going to have to go ahead and buy it because of the cover, I will review probably this Wednesday the nonsense that's going on, because if you watch my review of number 75, at a certain point I was speechless to try and describe what the fuck is going on with this book. None of it makes sense. It's literally nonsense. It keeps jumping around. And my friend DC Comic Queen, she did her review of 74 and 75 on her Instagram, and she literally started to talk about issue 74 and just threw it down the pile and then skipped it and then went to 75. And weirdly enough, we came up with the same number grade on it, and also she had the same reaction I did to it. We were kind of in lockstep on our opinion of it. So just a warning, if you are a fan of this run, probably Wednesdays you're going to hear some stuff out of it. Hopefully this issue kills and it'll make sense and everything will fucking make sense, but I don't have a lot of promise in that. Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 number 4 of 6 comes out. Kevin Eastman cover and Freddie Williams cover. I'm not a fan of either cover, to be honest. I like Eastman's stuff, though. I'm an old school fanboy of his, so that's probably, if I pick it up, that's what I'll be picking up. Deceased number 4 of 6 comes out, and it's got a cardstock horror variant edition, and this time it is doing an homage to Final Destination, with Robin as the Devon Sawa part of it, and there's also a Matina Joker zombie cover. That's probably my second favorite of it. Deathstroke number 46. I have not been liking the book, but it has a really sweet scan Year of the Villain cover. Doom Patrol Weight of the Worlds number 2 comes out. I'm picking up the B variant just because it's Paul Pope. I love Paul Pope's art. The Dreaming number 12 comes out with a nice Yannick Paquette cover. Green Lantern number 10, the B variant is for me because Care Andrews' covers lately have been fantastic, and this is no exception. If you're a Harley Quinn reader, there is the Year of the Villain cover by Frank Cho, and it's Harley and her jackals. Justice League number 29, weirdly, the Year of the Villain variant just doesn't look anything much other than what a regular cover would look like for it. It is Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson. It's a nice cover, but it's just not as good as I feel it should be, especially compared to some of the other covers. Lois Lane number 2 of 12 comes out, and it's Rucka and Mike Perkins on the book. I love Greg Rucka's writing, and Mike Perkins is pretty damn underrated, and I have met him. I actually did an online commission through him to pick up at a convention I was going to. Couldn't be the nicest dude, and oh my god, his commissions are fantastic. I got a great Kitty Pryde and Magic commission done by him, and worth every penny of it. Enough of that, though. Cover A by Mike Perkins, and B is by Nicola Scott, and Nicola Scott did a fantastic job on this B variant. It's actually better than the A, but at the same time, they're different types of pieces. But hers, I feel, is like more in detail, whereas the A cover feels like a little bit of Steranko homaging. And then Sinestro Year the Villain #1 comes out, and it's by Brandon Peterson, and cover by Brandon Peterson with writing by Mark Russell. Marvel Comics, it is all about absolute carnage, and #1 comes out. I am pretty much firm on the Art Germ variant. I know I'm an Art Germ stan. I pretty much pick up whatever he does. There is a Scotty Young one with... Oh, no, not Scotty Young. Aaron Cooter, sorry. That one I'm not as big on. Ron Lim does a variant that I'm not too over the moon about. Kyle Hotz. The cover A is by Ryan Stegman, and art interior by Ryan Stegman. Arrow #2 comes out. I still don't know what to think about this book. By Zu Leafin, Greg Pak, with art by Popman. I like Popman's art. Agents of Atlas #1. Greg Pak, Jeff Parker, Carlo Pagulian, Nico Leone, Jung Jeon Yoon cover. Weirdly enough, I'm going to pick up the D cover. It is Scotty Young, and it's just kind of cute. I'm not going to lie. It's the little girl with the spirit bear. Black Cat #3. I could care less about the J. Scott Campbell cover, but the Inuk Lee cover is just bananas. It's fantastic. Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys Marvel History is out. It's been a fun book. I really have liked it. It's ridiculous. Daredevil #9. This one is a real coin flip for which cover to pick up. Cover A is by Tedesco, which it's pretty fantastic, but the B cover of the Bring on the Bad Guys is by Dave Johnson of Bullseye. And it is kind of maniacal and insane looking. Dead Man Logan #10 of 12 comes out. Been a good run. I've been a fan of Mike Henderson since Nailbiter, so I've kind of stuck with his work and followed him. Future Foundation #1 comes out. I'm still unsure what I think about this book because the art really isn't really bringing me in. There's a cool Carlos Pacheco cover for it, but still there's something off about it. Something just rubbing me wrong about it. House of X #2, the Pepe Larraz cover I really like, and its kaleidoscope type way that it's doing the characters. And the E cover is the Yasmin Putri connecting variant, which I really, really like. Mortal Hulk #22 comes out. Again, I can't say enough good things about this series. And then supposedly it's coming to an end soon. I read something briefly about that, and yeah, it feels like it might be a mistake, but I guess you can't really carry this horror story over for too long because, of course, Marvel's going to have to throw his ass into some kind of company-wide crossover because, that's what you have to do. Invisible Woman #2 comes out. Great Adam Hughes cover. That's the A cover, and Amanda Connor's on the B, but I really just don't like that cover. I had sworn off Major X, but Major X #0 comes out, and I love Hip Hop Family Tree and the X-Men Grand Design. Ed Piskor is doing one of the variants, so I'm going to pick that up just because it's Ed Piskor. Old Man Quill #8 of 12 comes out. It's been a decent run. I wouldn't say it's been as good as like Old Man Logan or even Old Man Hawkeye, but it's been decent. Punisher #14. Punisher is one of those low-key books that I don't know how many people are picking it up, but his one-man war against Hydra and mainly Baron Zemo has been great. Baron Zemo is now being written kind of like how, oh god, I forget who, the Under the Red Hood story, how Black Mask was being written. That's how I feel like Baron Zemo is being written, and it is probably one of my favorite things out of the whole run. I mean, Matthew Rosenberg is a good writer. I'm not sure he was the greatest fit for X-Men, but this in particular is great. And the artist, Szymon Kudranski, he underrated with what he's done on this book. And then Savage Avengers number 4, I'm going to say I haven't been over the moon about this series. Like, I feel like it should be better than it is, and it hasn't been. The A cover is probably fine by me. Again, I'm just not in love with it. Star Wars number 70 is out. 3 variants. The regular Greg Pak the Phil Noto regular cover is just fine, but there is a Greatest Moments cover, and it's by Walter Simonson. And if you're an 80s kid like I was, Walt Simonson's just everything. His Thor run was just one of the best. After that, there is not a whole lot there, just a lot of reprints. And one I'll be checking out by Dynamite is old character, the Death-Defying Devil. I don't think it was timely, but this whole run of characters that were around like in the 30s, 40s. Gail Simone is going to be doing the Death-Defying Devil number 1. There's a ton of covers for this. Federici on the A, Perillo on the B, which is a very nice cover. Tyler Kirkham, Ben Oliver, Inuk Lee. A lot of good cover artists on this. And it's Gail Simone, and Walter Giovanni from, I want to say it was her Red Sonja run. Definitely going to check this out and see what's up with it. Again, Gail's a great writer. I understand some people get a little pissed off at her sometimes, but I don't let that really get in the way of my thoughts on her work, and she has been an important writer in my life, especially later on. Her Birds of Prey run saved my life, I'll put it that way. Boom Studios, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There's a couple of different covers, but I'll just go with the A cover. And then going on to the indies. The one I saw, I've been following this weird Ronin series that's been going on with it. Fallen World, it's not Ronin, Rye. It hasn't been too bad. Weirdly, like, a lot of the Valiant books are pretty solid. I remember being very kind of wishy-washy on them coming back a couple of years ago, but they came out strong right away, and it hasn't been much of a drop since. And that's pretty much it for the indie books. Probably, I feel like Absolute Carnage probably is going to be a monster seller. I'm not sure if any of them are really going to sell out, but I wouldn't sleep on them, especially, I mean, Donny Cates, as a writer, he's on fire right now. Like, he feels like one of those guys who can do no wrong. So I really feel like that's going to be a book that everybody's going to be talking about. And the way he seems to tie things together, and there'll be something in this book that'll tie back to something in one of his other books that could have been from a while back. So real fascinating to see how this plays out, because honestly, I'm so over Carnage. But if Cates can make it interesting, I'll check it out. Arrow might be one that people sleep on also. I'm just not sure what to think. I imagine that the orders have probably been cut quite a bit since since issue 1. Yeah, really, that's pretty much where I'm at on the books. I don't see any like monster hits, although issue 2 of No One Left to Fight, that could be a sneaky one, because I'm not sure how many shops are going to up their order over number 1, because, you know, number 1s always sell better, but I think it was good enough that, you know, some retailers might have got caught with their pants down, just kind of didn't adjust it and just thinking number one because all of a sudden speculators were going after it, they might not have adjusted number two. So it'll be interesting to see. So anyway, I wish you luck on this coming Wednesday with your books. Hopefully you might luck into some nice flip books right away, or, you know, just great reads in general. So I want to thank you for watching, and like, comment, share, subscribe. If there's any books you think I should be looking at this week that maybe I'm missing, go ahead and hit me up in the comments. All right, guys, thank you. Good night and farewell.